Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Green Chat. We're going to take a closer look at Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, an upcoming MMORPG. My name is Cleeze. Let's get started. All right, welcome back to Green Chat. And if you haven't noticed, I got a nice... I know. It's serious. So... today, we're going to be going through you guys' questions still, doing a little catch-up. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling with the Q and opinion, as I've been putting it. So, without further ado, we're going to start on that, because you guys are like, hey, get to my questions already, what the heck? Believe it or not, we're starting with a statement, moreover, than a question. This one's from Anonymous. It's kind of in line with what's going on here. It's referring to he or she's referring to... something that's already been brought up. So it's about poop sacking, putting the poop into the sock. You stop poop sacking by portaling characters in an area zone every so often. Some ranger camped in a corner gets gated to his bind point or her bind point after 24 hours. So why am I bringing this up? I want to bring this up because it's a good example of a lot of people react this way to issues in games, which more often or moreover gets you in hot water, because typically, if you blanket a problem with a solution, if you blanket a problem with a solution, that's correct. More often than not, you're going to affect people that are actually behaving well, or not trying to abuse the system, or play in such a way that Band-Aid's trying to counteract, and you end up actually hurting most of your player base for a couple of actions of others. I'm sure you're all used to this as you grew up. One kid acted out in class or acted out wherever, and you all were punished. So I like the idea, but at the same time, I really don't. I would rather deal with that than everybody have to deal with, because there are so many times where you're legitimately camping something for long periods of time that has nothing to do with the raid boss. You're just, you're there camping. I'd rather than put mechanics into the game as like, if there's a guy there, like have a patrol go out from the boss if it detects players is sitting in the zone, like invised or something. Which seems, I don't know, something like that. Something more along those lines, versus you getting just randomly ported just for sitting somewhere. Not to say, I appreciate you commenting and stuff like that, but I thought this was a really good example to bring that up, is to look out for that, or as far as like looking for your solutions as a blanket solution. Look for more like interactive with the actual participant that is misbehaving. In my opinion, that's what I would do. Next, we have a shout out from Lady Benbow, and she's saying, "Oh, I like the beer cam shot," and thank you so much. I know it's kind of shrunk back down. I'm kind of in this box again, but I appreciate the comment. All right, next up, we have another question from our main man, Robert. Robert is back at it again. This is kind of a, today is the show of statements. So it's kind of a question. We can talk about it. So he's saying, I think we need a new approach to encounter mechanics in MMOs. The recent trend has been an increasing focus on logistics and micromanagement. You see, the 4 bowmen need to stand exactly right here. Then the tank needs to bring the boss over there. I totally changed that so I could point over there, but it was here again. In which the magic users need to cast... At which time the magic users need to cast within 5 seconds, blah, blah, blah. Blow this cooldown at this exact moment. At 5 minutes into the encounter, you should be doing this. I'm kind of fluffing this up a little bit. Some amount of this is necessary and enjoyable. But I'm starting to feel like these games have more in common with synchronized swimming than epic fantasy battles. So with current MMOs and stuff like that, just coming out of everybody's eyes or noses or ears, is just very scripted encounters. You're getting so much more scripted and so much more tight. It seems to be the case. Like, I remember back in the day, you could severely screw up, and because you were an awesome player, you'd be like, yeah, and just do some cool stuff. Not cool stuff, but you really had a lot of room to breathe in an encounter. And you had room to really improvise. You had room to bring your own strategy to the table. Where more or less these days, it's kind of turned into exactly what it said. Synchronized swimming. If you don't follow this exact trend or pattern, you know, you're gonna fail. And with Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, I think with the gameplay slowing down as far as the choices you need to make, in their encounters, they're bringing tactics back into it, especially with the class identity and the power of each class. So classes will be more individualized, and with that they have more power. So I think Pantheon 100% will get this synchronized swimming out of the epic battles in fantasy games. And they're going to achieve this by slowing the combat down and making your decisions matter more and giving you more options. So when you come to a crossroad, is it, do I use this defensive cooldown or do I use this offensive cooldown? It's going to be more or less like, do I do, 1 out of 10 options? What do I do? Versus 1 of 2 options, which is usually the case in most MMO combat situations or raiding situations. All right, let's keep moving on. So I totally just talked for 30 minutes with, I thought was recording. That was amazing. So next up is Robert again. Robert is at it again. His post is a little long, so I'm just going to kind of paraphrase. It's kind of a statement, but it's an idea in general, and it's response to my comments on PvP in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. And here's his thoughts on PvE and PvP. So his idea on this was, you have like a temple. This is just one example. And the temple has 2 entrances, okay? And on one end, one team goes in one end, or one side, a team goes in, another side team goes in, and they've got to race against common goals or common, difficulties or mobs and stuff like that to reach the end guy, to kill him faster, and whoever kills it faster wins. And you get like a little prize, or you get like, yay, good thumbs up. But it's some way to bring kind of a player versus player without players actually killing each other into Pantheon Rise of the Fallen in the sense of competition and stuff like that. He also thinks, he mentions it would also add an additional social negotiation competition aspect to the game, which I completely agree. Moreover, I've in the past done some encounters which kind of incorporate this into their encounter, and I thought it was really awesome how the raid team had to split up, and one raid team had to run down a corridor, do a completely different responsibility that affected people in corridor, the other area, not really corridor, but the other area, and the way, they could be like, oh, slow down, and you slowing down is, difficult, and they could be like, okay, go faster, and you're going faster is also difficult. And it was kind of nifty dealing with that, and I think that'd be really something cool if Pantheon would put that into their, maybe some of their, structure, as far as either raids are concerned, or some of their environments, or make this temple thing he's talking about. I think that'd be really awesome. Obviously not at release, that's fine. Just at some point, just have it on the docket. Maybe one day let's make this for. Let's make this. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's make this temple. But I just want to bring that up. All right, and Robert's epic saga continues. So he's mentioning here in my first videos, I mentioned that I like the idea of large time investments, and he mostly agrees. But this brings up a few questions for Robert. So let's kick into them. When it comes down to it, the essence of what makes video games, or stories, or life in general, for that matter, enjoyable, is a reward of struggle. No struggle makes things seem worthless and underwhelming. Insufficient rewards makes things endlessly frustrating. What do you consider to be some of the best forms of rewarding struggle in past games, and how does Pantheon follow suit or even one-up those before them? So, best struggle of all time in past games would be running through a zone or running through a town at level 10 or level 5, really low. You're this new guy on the scene, and lo and behold, you come across a really awesome dude who's significantly higher than you, wearing some cool looking stuff, and I go, man, I want to be that. That's what I want to be. And the struggle to get to that position, like in every quest, it was seeing somebody with epics, epic 1.0s or whatever, epic weapons, and they had like particle effects, and you were like, whoa, and then finally achieving that and getting to the point where you can wield them, and you're like, man, look how cool I am. And that would be the most rewarding struggle in a game. And I think transmogging has completely wrecked that experience, like completely. Like, I think it's really cool when your gear slowly starts to make more sense as far as your appearance goes, and it all just streamlines once you finally achieve this moment. It just feels great to put like a slot that item and be like, oh man, this just feels great. Versus when you transmog, you're like, you know, everything you get, the appearance is null and void, or you're just all about outfitting, which some games kind of follow along that pretty well. I think, you know, like Final Fantasy XIV does a really good job with that side of the game, but you know, that's specific to that game. In that game, you're kind of alone, unless you're raiding and stuff. But I mean, you might as well just level up alone. That would be my example of a struggle that is awesomely rewarding. Now, Pantheon 1-upping this, I really hope there's not, you know, they haven't really touched on it, but I really hope they do not put, you know, I call it transmogging, glamoring, whatever. I'm using WoW terms right now, but God forbid. But basically making your armor appear like something else through the use of magic, which is completely feasible in a world that uses magic, but whatever. You know, I just personally despise it. It just takes something out of the game for me that was there. It was there and it's gone. I think Pantheon will one-up this through not allowing transmogging. But that's just a guess. Total guess. Hopefully they don't allow you, your armor, whatever you slot, looks like that, period. And if they don't achieve that, I know they're going to put epic quests into the game, and that will also be a one-up from anything you've experienced right now, as far as struggle versus reward. Guaranteed. I don't even want to go into super detail about it, but because you should almost experience for yourself. Actually, you'll probably get lathered with what epic quests are at some point, but they are exactly what they sound like. They're an epic quest, epic journey for you and me to get some weapons. So awesome. Robert continues to ask, when crafting items, do you want to see insta crafts, like done, or should they be processes that take significant time? Should your character have to be present to make crafting progress? For example, you need to log out near your craft table to make progress on your sword. So that's a good question. Do I think that would be, you know, I think that'd be a really cool thing for them to think about and maybe put in the alpha and beta to see how it goes. Because certain items, I think that might lead into alts and second accounts. You know what? No, I don't think, now that I even start thinking about it already, I don't think you need to log out near your craft table to make the process on your new sword. Reason being is what's going to happen is people are going to feel like, guaranteed, they'll be like, what? And then what they'll do is some people will buy second accounts and have crafters, and they'll just sit them there and constantly make things. And then other people will be like, wow, this game is designed for me to buy multiple accounts just to be on the same level as these other crafters. So, cool idea and concept if the game locked you to one character. I think it'd be awesome, but they won't. So you can buy multiple accounts, and I don't think that would really work out. Cool idea, though. All right, guys, and with that, we're going to end it there. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you like what you saw, and leave any questions for me or comments in the comments below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you again really soon.